So I'm a cognitive neuroscientist, meaning that I'm interested in how the brain works with respect to high cognitive functions. And currently we're interested in my group in how the brain encodes time or code for time, leading you to feel time or have time perception, as well as do higher cognitive things like be able to project yourself in the future mentally. So time in the mind, basically. So the impact of the ERC grant has been terrific, actually, because I was just arriving as a young researcher, and this has enabled me to create my own research group. So basically create a scientific momentum to actually address the questions we're interested in and actually diversify those questions. And of course this has provided me with, within my research institute, with a permanent position to carry on research. So this is very important here. I think quite honestly, if you have a question, a scientific question you believe in, it will be quite easy to transfer it to the audience. You have to make a big effort in communicating why you think it's important within your context, but on the big picture. And of course, you have to be very articulate in establishing, reviewing your field of research, and then say why it is important to ask this question now and not in 10 years. And once you pass that stage, for young ERC researchers, you have the first grant application is written. So of course you have an effort that is scientific effort of knowing your field and demonstrating that you're a good scientist and that you can do it. And then the second stage is being in front of 16 scientists who are going to judge your project. And I think that if you really believe it, at least that's my recommendation to young scientists who ask me this question, is to come on stage and show what you really believe in, and it will show through that you're passionate about your topic and that you know what you're talking about, and you'll know how to answer. So I don't think it's a stressful event if you really have done your work.
My research is around this area called human-computer interaction. So my goal is to make your experience using a computer easy, intuitive, and more rich. Right? And when I say a computer, I don't just mean a laptop or a desktop, right? Everything around you has computing in it, right? So your mobile phone has a computer, your microwave oven, your car, in fact, has lots of computing in it. And you have to interact with these devices more and more. And what I want to do is to make it rich. So you feel like you have said what you want to say to the machine, and not just by speaking, but by doing. And the computer understands it and acts on it in a sensible way. Of course, when I got my ERC grant, at that point, I had a very small team of few people working with me. And because of the ERC, I have been able to flexibly hire people, opportunistically react to things that emerge. And that flexibility is something that you cannot get easily with any grant. And I think that's one of the great things. The other great thing about the ERC is that they're not afraid of you trying something and failing, and that is key. So if someone asks me for my advice on what is the thing that you should think about if you're applying for the ERC grant, I would say that the first and foremost, don't try to think of a project because you want an ERC grant. Right? You have to think of a project that is not possible to be funded in any other way. Right? It has to be blue sky. It has to be reaching for something that's big, with I'd say like high impact, high risk project, and this is the key to think about. And if you can think of such projects, then there's a very good chance that you will succeed in an ERC grant.
I study diamonds. I study inclusions in diamonds. I study small mineral inclusions in diamonds, because this gives us a real contribution on what there is inside our planet and how our planet modifies in the time. We're talking about 3 billion of years, because diamonds are very, very old materials and perfectly preserved in the surface of our planet. There are two main issues to get a grant from ERC: your CV and the very, very high-level scientific research. These two things together combine to get and be successful. How to do this? For sure, especially for an Italian, I would say, and I would suggest to young researchers to go around the world, to learn and to do new experience in research, because this gives much more wide scenario on all the research in the world and helps you to publish a lot of papers and high quality papers, and combined with the top level of the project that you submit, you could get a research grant from ERC. The ERC grant impacted so much on my career, and especially because I was able to create for the first time in my life a research group. Today I am able to manage 4 postdocs and 2 PhD students, and this is a real important research group, and at the same time allowed me to acquire new instrumentation for doing research, and especially in my case we bought a unique instrument in the world, and I can say easily that at the moment we are among the best laboratory in X-ray diffraction for a single crystal in the diamonds. So I can really say that the ERC grant changed your life in terms of research, no doubts.